the CEO who didn't exist.
I guess moral of the story is like, don't take financial advice from Chuck Norris.
If this doesn't just go away, this is going to be the story of the year. I'm predicting this is going to be the tech story of the year. No notes, 10 out of 10.
There's DRM that some hackers found that bricks trains. And I mean like real trains, not like your little hobby trains that you run around your house.
I'm unfamiliar with Poland's laws, but if that is not illegal, it definitely should be. When our trains stop working, it's usually because they derailed and blew up a city.
Poisoned a city.
That's why we should put them.
Poisoned a city.
That's why we should all travel underground in a death trap where there's no way for emergency vehicles to get to where you are.
Hello, how the tech are you? I am historian Matt, and I am the co-producer and one of the hosts here on this show. And I've got some interesting stories, I should say. This is kind of went a little weird this week, but we'll get into it. So my first story is the CEO who didn't exist. And this has been going around this week, but apparently there was a hedge fund called Hyperverse that is now shut down because, surprise, surprise, it was a crypto hedge fund, and it's being accused of being a pyramid scheme, like, almost every other crypto hedge fund out there. But so back in, I guess it was shut down in 2022, and customer losses were about like $1.3 billion. So it was a fairly big one. But those looking to hold the CEO, Stephen Reese Lewis, accountable, may be disappointed because, per The Guardian, there's no organization cited in his resume that can find any record of him. There were three celebrities who endorsed this hedge fund. So it was Wozniak, Chuck Norris, and Lance Bass, and they supposedly have never met the man or seen him or anything. And finally, there's like basically no record of Lewis existing except on Twitter, on a Twitter account that was created. I have listed last year, but I think that was actually back in 2021. So far, nobody knows who this guy is. And they think he was just completely made up by other people who were working at this hedge fund, but nobody has actually come forward to claim they created this guy. So what do you guys think about the non-existent CEO?
Love it.
That is hilarious.
No notes, 10 out of 10. or as the internet might be more familiar with, 5 out of 7.
I guess moral of the story is like, don't take financial advice from Chuck Norris.
Something like that. I mean, my only notes is don't steal $1.3 billion, but
well, it sounds like they probably got away with it.
Well, easy to get away with something when you don't exist.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Hopefully they'll be brought to justice.
Yeah, hopefully there are other people who are working in the hedge fund. I think like these like lower level people made up the CEO. There are apparently pictures of this guy, this supposed CEO. So I don't know where the picture comes from or who it is. Maybe it's AI generated. I don't know. Again, it's not clear
CEO.
What's going on here.
If there's any depositions from this and they're made public, that's going to be wild.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think like some lower level guys just made this guy up, and supposedly they listed a couple of people who worked at this hedge fund, and they think they may have been like rotating who was going to play CEO that day or something.
The story just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's wild.
If this doesn't just go away, this is going to be the story of the year. I'm predicting this is going to be the tech story of the year. And if this story is everything that I think it is, it's going to bleed over into the other content on this network, because there's going to be an interview with one of the people that worked at this place where they're going to like try to say that they're being unfairly treated or something. And that's going to end up on Wednesday. Is this a Bay Area company? Yeah. Do we know? Was this a Bay Area company? Because that could be a Tuesday angle.
I don't know. I don't. I mean, it sounds like a Bay Area company. Like,
yes,
I don't know how to explain. You know what I mean? Like, there's no. It's not clearly like an Indian company or something like that. It's the guy, the CEO, the image that they had looks like a white guy. So that usually means Bay Area, and it's crypto type stuff. So I would assume Bay Area type company.
Were they a cult, possibly?
I don't know. There's not that much information in the article that I had.
I'm just thinking that there's going to be there's a lot going on here, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we find out more.
I mean, it was a crypto hedge fund, so like, yeah, probably a cult.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say probably a pyramid scheme, because all of them, like every single crypto hedge fund has been a pyramid scheme of some sort or another.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
What do you got next, Matt?
All right. So getting, maybe weirder. I don't know. This is scarier, I guess. It's not as much weird thing, but basically there's DRM that some hackers found that bricks trains. And I mean like real trains, not like your little hobby trains that you run around your house. But so basically 3 Polish security researchers hacked DRM locked trains in order to fix them. And what they found was very disturbing. The researchers explained what they found at the Chaos Communication Conference in Germany over the holidays, which is why we haven't heard it till now. The train's manufacturer is, I'm calling him Newag. That's how you'd pronounce it in English, but I don't know. I don't know if they're German or Polish or what they are. The trains are in Poland. But what the researchers found is the company had used a series of lockup measures that could kill power to the train and break the train's compressor if certain conditions were met. So as far as I can tell for the compressor, I don't know what the compressor is used for. I think it might be the brakes. But I mean, it would sounds like it actually would physically damage that part of the train. But the conditions were kind of wild. So one of them is if the train sat idle for 21 days, for whatever reason, they would just, destroy the train, basically, like lock it up. The other one, which is more nefarious, is if the GPS on the train detected that it was at an independent repair center or at a competitor's yard, it would lock up the train to basically prevent any competitor from working on the train itself and fixing any of these problems. And then finally, kind of the weirdest, also nefarious one was it would lock up, the code was found that would lock up the train if it was December 21st. Why? Don't know. There's no rhyme or reason to this. But what was interesting about this is one of the trains that these researchers were working on did in fact lock up and failed on the 21st of December. So kind of a red flag there, or a smoking gun. I don't know what you want to call it, but that's kind of serious. But so these trains were basically a set of passenger trains that were used in southern Poland. And, as all these things came out, the Newag has threatened to sue these quote hackers. I put quotes because they're researchers, not really hackers, even though they're doing hacking. But no lawsuit has been filed yet. So what do you guys think about this absolutely crazy DRM?
I'm unfamiliar with Poland's laws, but if that is not illegal, it definitely should be.
I am a little bit curious about the thing on the 21st. Are they?
Yeah, I'm very curious about that.
Are they simply trying to make sure that the people who drive the trains get some time off for the holidays? I mean, what's going on there?
I don't know, because it seems like the opposite. Well, I guess the drivers would get some time off, but if a train locks up right before Christmas, that means all the technicians and stuff are not going to have a day off. They're going to have a fairly bad Christmas, I would assume.
Yeah, that would mean that the company that's running the train would want to get it repaired real fast, right?
Yeah.
So that'd probably mean they'd pay exorbitantly high fees to have this company come out and fix their train that broke itself on the 21st.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh, HK with the conspiracy theory.
I mean, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's
it's not a theory.
It's a conspiracy.
Conspiracy fact. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know enough about trains, but it seems like this seems like something that wouldn't just be a mistake or HK. I mean, you do code for a living. This isn't a thing that would tend to happen by mistake, right?
This would never happen by mistake. Like looking at the GPS data to check for whether it's in a specific location that's like their competitors.
That's the opposite of a mistake.
There is no way to make that accidentally.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the article goes into a little more depth and talks about some of the details of, how they got the code, how they figured all this stuff out. It is just wild. And I'm really glad they were caught,
I think that a company that does something like this does not deserve to be a company anymore. So whatever fine they have to give this company, I hope that, Poland or wherever this manufacturer is based, I hope that they are fined into non-existence.
Yeah, I think that if there are ways to shut a train down remotely, the only people able to do that should be the people operating the train service for extreme emergency cases to if it seems like if the train blows through a few stations and they can't get a hold of the operator or something like that. There should be a way in which the train service can turn the train off. That the train manufacturer gets a big old sad because they took it to the wrong train mechanic and just disables the train out of spite. I feel like that is not a reason you should be able to disable an important piece of, I guess, public infrastructure.
Yeah, that sounds anti-competitive. And Europe is a lot more, they get a lot more angry about that sort of thing.
As they should.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We should be equally angry.
Yeah.
But when our trains stop working, it's usually because they derailed and blew up a city.
Poisoned a city.
That's why we should put them
poisoned a city.
That's why we should all travel underground in a death trap where there's no way for emergency vehicles to get to where you are.
Yep, a one-lane death trap.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a crazy story. I get the feeling I think we're going to probably hear more about the first one that you had this week. And this one's probably largely going to go away, but maybe we can try to keep an eye on this one.
I want to keep an eye on it, see if there's any follow-up. I'm particularly interested in seeing if there's any lawsuit, if the company goes after the security researchers, or if, Poland, because it was Poland's trains, the country is going to go after the company. And what happens there?
Oh, and the EU will tail. Will come after After Poland comes after them, the EU's coming for them.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on it. But crazy story.
I wonder if Elon Musk's going to congratulate them for disrupting the train industry.
Yeah, probably.
Thank you for tuning in to How the Tech Are You? We do this show every week, and we put it out into 3 segments on YouTube, and we also put it out as a podcast. If you'd like that you can find that at echoplexmedia.com, along with all our other shows. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll have a recommended video here on the screen for you to check out next.